and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to MPL Presents Cricket Buzz Live. Why is the camera showing my face? I'm not even the man who got the prediction right. Let's take a look at the winner of that MPL Super Couch, Mr. Sean Pollock.
That good-looking man.
177 has been the key. When I go, just keep picking 177.
I remember that.
I mean, at one stage it looked like Joy or I could have won the competition, but thanks to Sam Curran, what a dash in the end.
Yeah, it was a good finish from him, wasn't it? And sometimes, you know, when you play against a team like Kings 11, they've got the power hitting of Gale at the top of the order. Everyone is so concerned about how he's going to go, and they come up with their plans to Rahul as well because he's been in form, he's made some runs. They tend to forget about there are people who come down the order. And Sam Curran, I must admit, I've been surprised by his ability, particularly with the bat. I think he burst onto the English scene and made some valuable contributions, some really good contributions in the Test arena. But could he adapt his game? Could he bring it to the T20 format? I wasn't 100% convinced. And from what I've seen from him, he's a guy who knows what he's doing. He's come up with some good angles, doesn't just whack it down the ground. Has got that power, but there's a bit of a touch game to his game as well. So really good job from him, and that has given them a nice competitive total now.
Joyda, this is what we call an out-of-syllabus question in India, right? When you suddenly prepare for something and something else comes out.
Absolutely. They thought that Gale and Rahul were the guys to hit them. Yeah. Who hit them? The Purran and the Curran. The Purran and the Curran. It's Nicholas Purran again, right then in the middle, just suddenly accelerated the game totally. Remember, they were just 28 in their first 5 overs, 2 wickets down, and you're saying, 140, 150, and Purran just went and whacked them. Look at that. 5.6 in the first 5, 11.2 at the time when guys normally slow down because the field restrictions are removed. Then again 7.75 and then a spectacular finish. This is the most stop-start innings that you'll see. Very interesting, but they dominated those 2 phases of play which are very interesting, 6 to 10 and 15 to 20.
I'm very curious about what happens in a situation like this where it's so much stop-start. Is it the management from outside that tells them you need to go now, or is it the players in the middle who are just taking these calls?
Well, you'd hope it's the players in the middle, maybe getting a few ideas from the management, but you have to back yourself out there. You have to be the one who decides when you are or aren't going to go. And that's why I think Curran did it pretty well. They were under a little bit of pressure. He kept losing wickets in and around his innings, but he still held his nerve, and then the big acceleration was obviously that last over. So he gave himself a chance, and to strike at 230 with those 7 4s and 2 6s, and that last over I think was 22 off it. That's a really well judged strike rate from him, and also innings from him, because he's not that old. He's not that experienced at this format. And if someone like Mahendra Singh Dhoni had done that, we'd be sitting here going, there it is again, brilliant,
what a man,
what a timing and everything like that. For a young man to do what he did in this instance was impressive.
22 of the last over. Joyda, do you think the KKR bowling was just all over the place?
No, it wasn't all over the place. That's a fact. I mean, Harry Gurney actually went for 19 in his first 3, and then he went for 22 in his 4th. Look again, Warrior did a decent job for them up front. Narayan is his usual, parsimonious self, not giving away too much runs, putting enough pressure. He got a run out because of pressure. Russell was a disappointment. Obviously, he didn't look as if he was bowling at his fastest.
Yeah, something's wrong there. I think he's injured somewhere.
Piyush Chawla got back. Nitish Rana, came into his 1 over. But the point about it is this is a bowling attack that Kolkata used to have a formidable spin bowling attack, a formidable slow bowling attack. This is an attack that's scaring nobody. One of the things that Kings 11 would have looked at and said, remember, we talked at the beginning that they don't have a very long batting lineup. But they would have looked at this bowling attack and said, if I don't want to lose wickets, other than Sunil Narayan, there's nobody out there who's going to get somebody out. They'll have to, get out trying to hit stupid shots. So even you see the guys who got out, Gale picked out a fielder, literally picked out a fielder in this thing. KL Rahul did the same. All these guys went out on shots, trying to hit shots, and the same. Mandeep tried to hit them out of the ground. So the point of it is, this, after a long time, is a KKR team that's not taking wickets. And it's also reflecting in the kind of numbers they have, the kind of wickets their spinners have got, their fast bowlers have got. So that's your problem. See, in a situation like this, if Mumbai had 2-3 wickets down, you'd get a Bumrah over in, you'd get a couple of quick Hardik Pandya overs in, you'd have them by the jugular.
Correct.
Kolkata just doesn't have the attack to do that right now.
It's not just the bowling. Do you also think the fielding in general, we're not talking about Rinku Singh who dropped a catch, poor guy, but the body language on the field, it somehow didn't feel like They're really in there together because Dinesh kept yelling at everybody on the field.
Yeah, there was some. You could pick up that there was some issues there. I mean, the way they went about their business when bowling changes weren't or were made, and then at the strategic break there was some strong words that came from DK, and obviously he wasn't happy with his troops, maybe with their attitude, what they were bringing. And I do get the sense that it's been a bit of a problem for KKR throughout the season. They haven't been a camp that's totally behind the tactics that are being employed, totally behind the team that's been chosen. So there is a few issues on there, and despite that, they've managed to win, and they've got another opportunity to try and get the score tonight. But yeah, it doesn't seem that everyone's as happy as they could be, and you don't see those kind of things when you've got, for example, CSK or Mumbai on the field. They seem to be a team that's happier with what's going on, and they buy into what's been tried.
Yeah, I think a part of it is the fact that you have a situation where Andre Russell has had not just good performances, but what you could almost say match-winning, dominating performances.
That's right.
Which is fantastic. I mean, it seems to you that that's a perfect thing that can happen to a team. But sometimes what happens is when your star player then is a star player at this point in time, and then he's saying that, I need to bat up the order, I need to do this, I need to do that. And wait a minute, for that you also have a captain who's been called a captain or been appointed a captain for a particular reason.
Yeah.
That his understanding of the game is probably more, his maturity is more to handle that situation. Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a captain who's taking calls. And if they're not batting under at a particular position, it's not because Dinesh Karthik wants to bat in a position, it's because the team feels that we want to be flexible enough and make best use of him. Because nobody is going to be so stupid to say, I will not give Andre Russell his batting position, but I'll bat in that position and let my team lose. So for somebody like a Dinesh Karthik, he would also feel, and quite justifiably so, exasperated. I mean, guys, shut up. This is the kind of discussion that needs to happen inside the locker room, not outside. This is not a discussion that needs to happen outside. And for a lot of people, therefore, the captain is now under a lot of pressure. Where are you batting, Andre Russell? That's not something that he needs to answer. That's something collectively as a team unit. It's just him. It's him, it's a batting coach, it's a fielding coach, it's the entire think tank have got together and said, okay, this is how it's going to happen. And remember something, when a batsman comes out, no matter what happens, the entire dugout is there. It's not like a bowling change that I can do it in any time. There's 5 other people down there who can together talk and make a decision. So my big problem out here is the fact that you can't give a single player so much importance that then what he says can actually be disruptive to the team, and that's what I think is happening.
But it's very unusual you bring this up because for most of us who are fans and watch the game, we know that the people from the Caribbean islands are usually very friendly and easy to get along with. Doesn't come across that way here.
No, see, Andre's don't get me wrong, I love Andre. He's a really nice guy, but everyone has certain skills.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I can't hit like Andre Russell, but Andre Russell may not be able to do calculus. Similarly, Dinesh Karthik thinking
calculus
for a team.
You and I can't do.
It's okay.
I don't think any boss can do except you, Joyda.
But what I'm saying is that Dinesh Karthik has some reasons why he's the captain and not Andre Russell.
Yeah.
And that's what Andre probably does not understand at this point in time. Don't get me wrong, he loves the team, he's doing enough for the team. It's just that sometimes he doesn't understand that what he's doing might be pulling the team in different directions,
Yeah, and I mean, all teams have got their issues. Even your Real Madrids who are winning the Champions League, or Barcelona's, or whoever you are, even the World Cup winning teams, there's always the odd little issue where that's not your favorite guy and you don't really like batting in this position and you don't like bowling at that time. Those do occur. But for the team's sake, sometimes you do just have to suck these things up and say, okay, this is the best for the team, let me continue to do my best.
Yeah, I mean, the guys from Trinidad and Guyana managed to do that. They can't agree over chicken curry and curry chicken. That's a fight between them.
That's a real fight. That's a
real fight. And talking about a real fight, Kings 11 Punjab will have to stand there and actually rough it out. Do you think they have the bowling enough to restrict KKR?
Look, none of these bowling attacks are, things that, other batsmen will look at and say that...
You're just not amused by them, but...
Yeah, none of these guys are, there. I'd say that though it's not, remember, the 2 Ashwins on this surface know how to use it exactly. They'll know how to use it. So you have 2 overs of the Ashwin, 8 overs of Ashwin, 3 overs of Ty are going to be difficult to hit. Sean is saying that Sam Curran on these conditions maybe, the kind of bowling he does may be useful. So you've already got 4 decent, maybe 16 overs out there. If they can get something out of Arshdeep and Shami, this could be this bowling attack looks slightly better than the Kolkata bowling attack for these conditions.
Yeah, they've got the extra option tonight as well, and Ashwin has managed his bowlers quite nicely. I think he's got them on at the right time. I think if they play their cards correctly, they'll put KKR under pressure. I suppose we can't go against the flavour of the tournament. Andre Russell has been formidable, and if he gets going again tonight, I think 180 odd is not enough. So if I have to back one, it's a tough call. I'm thinking that Kings 11 have got enough, but I'm actually going to back KKR because I think there's going to be another good innings.
Wow. What about you, Joyda?
I'll go with KKR, but not so much, not just for Russell, but also remember this is the home ground of Shubman Gill.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the ground where he's just saying he knows it very well. I think the last match they made him open. I hope he's going to open, and if he goes out there and gives them the kind of start that they need. Because remember, once Kxip goes in, they'll immediately put in spin if Kxip has gone in there, and there's no Sunil Narayan on the other side. If he goes and navigates that first 6 overs well and leaves enough, I mean, what is enough for Russell? Nobody knows. 15 and over, 16 over, 17 over, but he leaves it at 10, 12 and over to get at the end. KKR have not just Russell, Karthik, they have the firepower to finish. I'll go with KKR.
All right, I'm just going to stick with Kings 11 Punjab because it's RCB B team after all. Half the players are there. Somebody representing us. All right, we'll see you at the first half with MPL Presents Crick Buzz Combox, where we'll discuss more about the game. Thank you very much for joining us. 10th over. Join us then.